What if the greatest revolution was not about power, but compassion? 2,000 years ago, a carpenter from Galilee spoke words that would echo through history. He declared the poor, the meek, and the mourners blessed, turning society's values upside down. Jesus' teachings on justice weren't abstract, they were a call to action. He challenged the powerful, comforted the afflicted, and redefined goodness as love and mercy. This was not a call for a new religion, but for a new humanity. Join me as we explore Jesus' revolutionary teachings on social justice. In Jesus' world, outcasts like lepers and tax collectors were shunned, but he saw their humanity. He touched the untouchable, ate with the despised, and declared them worthy. These acts weren't just kindness, they dismantled the social barriers of his day. Jesus taught that compassion and dignity override any law or tradition. Justice, for him, began with an open invitation to all, especially those society rejected. He envisioned a community where everyone belongs, and the last are first. On a sunlit hillside overlooking the tranquil waters of the Sea of Galilee, Jesus gathered a crowd and delivered what would become one of the most influential teachings in history, the Sermon on the Mount. This was not just a speech, but a radical blueprint for a new kind of justice, one that would challenge the very foundations of society and invite people into a deeper, more compassionate way of living. He began by blessing those the world often overlooks, the poor in spirit, the meek, those who mourn, and those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. In a world that prized power and wealth, Jesus turned expectations upside down, declaring that true happiness and fulfillment belong to those who are humble, merciful, and pure in heart. True justice, he taught, isn't about simply following a set of rules or outward appearances. It's about a transformation that begins deep within the heart. Jesus called his listeners to move beyond legalism and ritual, to embrace a justice that is rooted in love, empathy, and genuine care for others. He challenged them to look inward, teaching that it's not enough to avoid murder. You must also root out anger and resentment from your heart. Reconciliation, forgiveness, and peace were to be the new standards. Likewise, it's not enough to avoid adultery. You must guard your thoughts and intentions, striving for purity, not just in action, but in mind and spirit. Jesus invited his followers to examine their motives and desires, to seek integrity in every aspect of life. He called for a radical kind of love, one that goes far beyond what is expected. Turn the other cheek when wronged, go the extra mile for others, and most astonishingly, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. In doing so, you break the cycle of hate and retaliation and open the door to true reconciliation and healing. This was not a call to weakness or passivity, but to courageous, nonviolent resistance, a way of confronting injustice without becoming unjust yourself. The Sermon on the Mount became the ethical constitution of Jesus' movement. It placed mercy above judgment, peacemaking above conflict, and called for a community where compassion and understanding are the highest values. Justice, Jesus taught, starts within each person. It is a force that shapes not only our actions, but our attitudes, our relationships, and ultimately, the world we build together. Righteousness isn't about appearances or public approval. It's about being changed from the inside out, becoming people who reflect love, humility, and integrity in all we do. Jesus' vision was nothing less than a society built on transformed hearts, a community where justice, mercy, and peace are lived out every day. That's the foundation of his justice, a justice that begins within and radiates outward, changing the world one heart at a time. If you found this message meaningful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content on faith, justice, and compassion. Your support helps us reach more people with these important teachings. One day, a teacher of the law approached Jesus with a question that has echoed through the centuries. Who is my neighbor? It was a question meant to test, to define the limits of love and duty. But Jesus, as he so often did, answered not with a simple definition, but with a story that would challenge every listener's heart. Jesus began to tell a parable, inviting everyone to imagine themselves in the story. He described a man traveling a dangerous road, a road known for its twists, turns, and lurking dangers. Along the way, this traveler was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him mercilessly, and left him half dead, abandoned and helpless, on the side of the road. His pain and fear were visible to anyone who passed by. Soon, a priest came down the same road. Surely a man of God would help, but the priest saw the wounded man, and instead of stopping, he crossed to the other side and hurried away, unwilling to get involved. Next, a Levite, another respected religious leader, approached. He too saw the suffering man, but he also passed by, offering no help, perhaps fearing for his own safety or ritual purity. Then a Samaritan came along, a person from a group despised and distrusted by the Jews. Yet it was this outsider, this so-called enemy, who was moved with compassion. He knelt beside the injured man, cleaned and bandaged his wounds, and gently lifted him onto his own animal. The Samaritan's compassion broke through every barrier of tribe, tradition, and prejudice. He didn't ask who the man was, where he came from, or whether he was worthy of help. He simply saw a fellow human in need and responded with mercy. Jesus' message was clear. Being a neighbor isn't about shared background or beliefs. It's about showing mercy, kindness, and practical help to anyone in need, even those we might consider strangers or rivals. Jesus turned the original question on its head. Instead of asking, "Who must I love?" he challenged us to ask, "How can I be a neighbor?" The focus shifts from drawing lines to erasing them, from limiting love to expanding it. For Jesus, justice is not just a lofty idea. It's practical, costly compassion. It means taking risks, giving time, and sometimes even sacrificing comfort or resources to help another person heal and recover. The command Jesus gives is simple, yet profound. Go and do likewise. We are called to act, to step out of our comfort zones, and to make mercy a way of life. True neighborliness knows no boundaries of race, religion, or background. It is a call to build a community where everyone is cared for and no one is left behind. In the end, mercy is the very heart of justice. It is the measure of our humanity and the path to a more compassionate world. Jesus reserved his harshest words for the religious elite, not the sinners. He called them whitewashed tombs, pure outside, corrupt within. They obsessed over rules but neglected justice, mercy, and faithfulness. Their religion became a performance, a tool for power. Jesus exposed their hypocrisy. God cares about the heart, not appearances. True righteousness is measured by compassion for the vulnerable. He tore down false piety to make way for real justice. A woman accused of adultery is dragged before Jesus, a trap set by the authorities. They demand judgment, but Jesus responds with silence, writing in the dust. Then he says, "Let anyone without sin cast the first stone." One by one, her accusers leave. Jesus tells her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and leave your life of sin." In this moment, justice is tempered with mercy. He protects the vulnerable, exposes hypocrisy, and offers restoration. True justice seeks redemption, not destruction. What about you? Share in the comments. What do you wrestle with daily? In a remote place, thousands are hungry. The disciples want to send them away. Jesus says, "You give them something to eat." With 5 loaves and 2 fish, he feeds everyone, more than enough for all. This miracle is a lesson. Justice means meeting real needs, not dismissing them. Jesus creates abundance through sharing, turning scarcity into community. In his kingdom, no one goes hungry. Caring for the poor is central, not optional. True righteousness feeds the hungry. The Sabbath was sacred, but Jesus healed on it, challenging tradition. He saw a woman suffering and chose compassion over rules. When criticized, he exposed the leader's flawed priorities. People matter more than regulations. The Sabbath was made for humanity, not the other way around. Justice, for Jesus, means relieving suffering. No day is too holy for compassion. He challenged any system that valued rules over people. For him, mercy always came first. In a world of vengeance, Jesus taught forgiveness as the foundation of justice. He linked receiving forgiveness to extending it to others. Through the parable of the unmerciful servant, he showed the absurdity of accepting grace but refusing to give it. Holding grudges creates prisons. Forgiveness breaks the cycle of harm. Justice for Jesus is radical forgiveness that restores relationships. It's not ignoring wrongs, but choosing to release others from debt. Forgiveness is courageous, difficult, and liberating. It's the currency of a just community. Share this video with someone who may need to hear this message. One day, a wealthy young man dressed in fine clothes and full of confidence approaches Jesus with a burning question. He asks, "Teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What am I still missing?" His life seems perfect on the outside, but he senses a deeper emptiness within. Jesus looks at him with compassion and replies, "If you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions, and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." It's a radical invitation, one that challenges the very foundation of the young man's security. The young man's face falls. He turns away, his heart heavy, unable to let go of his great wealth. The cost feels too high, and he walks away from the opportunity to follow Jesus, clinging to his possessions instead. Watching him leave, Jesus turns to his disciples and delivers a striking lesson. "Truly, I tell you, it is hard for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. In fact, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter God's kingdom." The image is vivid, impossible, even absurd, meant to shake us awake. Wealth, Jesus warns, can become a barrier. It can blind us to the suffering around us, making us indifferent to the needs of others. When we focus only on our own comfort, we risk losing sight of compassion and justice. True righteousness, Jesus teaches, is not about accumulating more for ourselves, but about using what we have to lift others up. It's about generosity, sharing, and seeking justice for those who are overlooked or forgotten. Jesus calls us to a new way of living, one marked by economic justice, radical generosity, and a willingness to let go of what holds us back from loving others fully. Our wealth is not just for us. It is a trust, a gift meant to be shared for the good of all, so that no one is left in need and everyone can flourish. On his final night, Jesus washes his disciples' feet, a servant's task. He teaches that true greatness is found in humble service, not power. "If I, your Lord, have washed your feet, you should wash one another's." Leadership in his vision means serving others first. His community is not a hierarchy, but a circle of mutual service. This act sums up his entire ministry. Justice is lived out in service. Greatness is measured by how we serve, not how many serve us. Servant leadership is the model for a just world. Jesus' message is a call to restoration, not punishment. Justice means feeding the hungry, welcoming the stranger, and loving the least. His teachings still challenge us to look beyond comfort and tribe. The work of building a just, compassionate world is unfinished. It's ours to continue. These stories are a mirror, asking us how we serve our neighbors today. The call to love in practical ways is as urgent now as ever. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you found this message meaningful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more.